so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? Let's go to verse 48.
Verse number 48.
Bring it out.
It reads, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
So the Lord said you're going to have to serve your enemies. Boom, plot twist, now we have enemies. That's not hard to understand in these last days, is it? We know we have enemies. Right? We don't got to play games. We know who's killing us in the street, oppressing us, constantly making sure that they got one up on us. Right? So the Lord said you're going to have to serve your enemies.
It reads, serve thy enemies which the Lord shall send against thee.
Right?
In hunger.
So the Lord said you got to serve your enemies in hunger. Right? What's the last thing you ate, brother? Eggs. Where you get the eggs from? The store. What was it? Weis, Wegmans? Whole Foods. Do we own Whole Foods? Of course not. Of course not. So you got to serve your enemy in hunger.
And in thirst.
In thirst. What you got? The Zen tea? We don't own Zen tea. Right? Is that your wife? Okay. She pulled out of water. What's that from? From Giant?
I didn't pay for it. I got it for free.
You got it for free. But even if, do we own any water treatment plants?
Not that I know.
Not that we know of. Because we don't.
At all.
Right? What else?
And in nakedness.
And nakedness, the nice clothing y'all have on. We don't own them clothing stores. Do we own H&M? Do we own Nike, Polo? And if we do own a clothing boutique or have our own clothing line, where are we getting the materials from? Is it from our own people or is it from our enemies like the Lord said? From China, right? And what else?
And in what of all things?
And one of all things. I dare you, brother, to name one thing or sister that you got throughout this whole land that don't come from your enemies. One thing. Driver's license, cell phone, a job,
That's right.
money, those glasses, passport, even oxygen if you gotta go to the hospital.
Make it plain.
Right? Can you name one thing where you don't have to go to your enemies for? That's what the Lord said. And what the Lord said the enemy is gonna do to you.
And he
And this enemy is getting very specific.
shall put a yoke of iron
These are yokes of iron right here, family. So your enemy put yokes of iron upon you,
upon thy neck
upon thy neck.
until he have destroyed thee.
We're destroyed as a people because we depend on them for everything. We have no leadership. We have no military, no army. We don't even know who we are. Right? That's only 2 curses. We got one more. One more. I know you like, all right, I gotta go. But this is important history right here. Now, how did we get to this land called America? How did our forefathers and foremothers get here?
Ships.
You sure? Yeah, it was ships. They put us on the bottom of these boats and they brought us over here and sold us at Lexington Market. You never heard of that story?
Scattered already.
Yeah, we were scattered. We had some of our forefathers over here, but they got shipped into slavery down in South America, the islands.
But also forefathers came here before in the past when the Native Americans were here and did trade with Native Americans, which is why they also have statues of multiple people that look like us.
But like I said, we was already over here.
We were already
But
here and we were also traveling here. But
Yeah.
they just came, it's just that the narrative only focused on the fact that we came as the ones who came as slaves only.
right, but then we had our forefathers who were taken away from here and were forced to speak Spanish and sold down to Guatemala, right? Portugal, all these other South American countries, right? By the Spaniards, which is so-called Europeans, right? Now let's read out the Bible.
Deuteronomy 28, verse number 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So the Lord said to his chosen people he just brought out of Egypt, I'm going to send you back into Egypt. Now what does it mean when the Lord says Egypt? What did you say we were doing in Egypt before Moses freed us? We were in slavery, so what does this next Egypt mean? Slavery. So the brothers are going to read it verbatim from the top, and we're going to switch Egypt for slavery.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into slavery again. Now how do you think the Lord is going to bring his chosen people into slavery? Well, let's read out the Bible.
Into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
How did we go into slavery?
With ships.
Right there, family. Just like that. They put this in front of you to mock you. Say, this is how we got you over here. So he said his chosen people will be sent into slavery on ships.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
The way the Lord said it was going to happen, didn't it happen that way?
thou shalt see it no more again.
We haven't seen our homeland since. We've been in this land for over 600 years and don't even know what our homeland is. We say Africa, that's a whole continent that's named after a white man. We don't know where we from. That's a deep, where are we from? We haven't seen it again, right?
And there
And once you got off them slave ships to whatever destination the Lord had you get delivered to,
ye shall be sold.
we were what?
Ye shall be sold.
Look, public sale of slaves. You can't make this stuff up. This was written over 4,000 years ago.
That's right.
Right? You shall be sold.
Unto your enemies.
And who sold us? Whatever your last name is, brother. Jackson, Johnson, Williams. That's not your last name, is it?
No, mine is Irish.
It's Irish. Right? You should be sold into your enemies.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Slave men and slave women.
And no man shall buy you.
And nobody redeemed us. Family, we Israelites. Right?
That's
Check
right.
the flyer. The brother got a flyer for you. Right? How you doing, sister?
Hello.
What's going on? Come check out the flyers. You amongst family, check them out. What I say? Flyers, excuse me, the signs. Yeah, our people were destroyed, man.
Yeah, right.
The problem is, our people have a short attention span, man. If you're not rapping, singing, and dancing, they don't want to hear it.
Right.
I guarantee you, if they went to a Drake concert, they wouldn't get up and leave early. They went to a, who's somebody popular?
Right, wait.
Rod Wave. He was here last night at the amphitheater.
Right.
I guarantee you they're not getting up and leaving that concert early.
Right.
This is the words of the Lord, but nobody has time for the words of the Lord in these last days.
Right.
Everybody wants to continue on in their folly, continue on in their mirth and their joy. Right? I had brothers holding stuff. Let's bring that back out. I can't remember who was holding.
I was at
Isaiah 19. Right?
Back-
I'm using Joel the 2nd chapter as well. Right?
Back to the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, and verse number 17.
Right, we was talking about that great and dreadful people who's coming back, man. Right, we were talking about the elect coming back, ready to restore and seal and grab what's ours, man.
Right.
We're ready to take it and be. Let's finish reading. Let's go back to Joel the 2nd chapter and pick up where you left off, man. What I had you on? A 9 left.
The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 3.
Right.
A fire devoureth before them.
So wherever they're going, it's a fire that devours before them, man. Right? Their eyes are set towards the east, towards the motherland, right? And wherever they go, a fire is set before them, and what?
And behind them a flame burneth.
Behind them a flame burning, man. Because we're gonna be shooting to and fro like sparks and stubble, man. We're gonna be destroying and devouring all these cities, man. UK is gonna be stubble. France is gonna be stubble. Germany, Russia, all these lands are gonna be stubble by the hands of God's chosen, right?
The land is as the Garden of Eden before them.
Right, the land is as the Garden of Eden before them. When you see the Garden of Eden, that's the ideal picture of beauty, right? That's a beautiful sight,
And behind them a desolate wilderness.
desolate wilderness, right? Destruction, the chaos that happened there. They not gonna have no choice but to get down with the elect, right?
Yet nothing shall escape them.
Nothing's gonna escape this, man. You can't hide anywhere. You hear that? You hear that? You're not gonna be able to escape the hands of God and His chosen people.
Right.
For the crimes that your forefathers committed and the hate that you have in your heart towards God's chosen people,
Right.
you got hell to pay.
That's right.
You got hell to pay, Bob. It's gonna be ugly for you, man.
Right.
Me.
Yes, you.
Just me.
No, everybody who looks like you as well.
Right.
Look at this sign. Is this appropriate? Is this okay? That's not okay, is it? This is what your forefathers did to my forefathers, to our forefathers.
That's right.
Are you a man of equality, equity, and justice? Don't you believe that? So shouldn't there be some type of repercussion for the atrocities that your forefathers did?
I think everyone's got to pay.
You think everybody's got to pay? Well, what about us? We haven't been paid.
I think everyone's got to take care of themselves. And
Well, do you think that you're gonna have to pay for this?
I think everybody's got to.
No, I'm asking you individually. Do you think that you're gonna have to pay for what your forefathers did?
No,
You don't think so? Give me Isaiah 14 and 21.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 21.
Get out.
Prepare slaughter.
Right? What is slaughter, Bob? What's your name? I'm sorry. No, what's your name? Brian. I was close. Brian. What is slaughter? Kill. Massive murder and destruction, right? So the Lord said, prepare slaughter.
For his children.
No, for him.
For his children.
So you're the children or a child of the people who did this to our forefathers. So what is the Lord saying he's going to prepare for you? Oh, you're Irish. What are you? You're Jewish. Oh, okay. What tribe you from? You're an American Jew. Now, so you believe the Bible, absolutely, right? So what did the Jews look like according to the Bible? Well, I can tell you because we got the Bible. Let's go to Jeremiah 14. Well, that's not what the Bible says. The Jews never came from Spain. The Jews came from Jerusalem. No, we're talking about the Jews of the Bible. We're speaking about years and years after that. Let's get Jeremiah 14.
This is the book of Jeremiah.
Hold on, listen to this verse.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2.
Now let's see what the Jews really look like.
Judah's mourning, and the gates thereof languish.
What color are they?
They are black.
What color are the real Jews?
They are black.
You are a fake Jew, bro.
Fake Jew.
You got the
Fake Jew.
coming towards you, man. Right? Everybody wants to say they believe in the Bible. When the Bible comes out, I gotta go. No.
See that?
He got death and destruction. He got the ultimate death and destruction coming to him, man.
That's
Right.
He's an imposter. He's a thief.
Right.
He's a whoremonger.
Right.
Because he heaps all the nations to him and
Right.
feeds them with the ideology of the Jewish man. Right? He got the ultimate punish coming to him, man. Right? And he said, well, I don't think it's going to happen to me. But then it's going to get ugly, man. It's going to get real ugly in the last days for these fake Jews. It's going to get real ugly for the so-called white man, the so-called Chinese man, so-called African man, so-called Arab man, so-called Hawaiian man. If you're not so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, your future is not bright.
Right.
Your future is dark and gloominess. Right, let's go back to Joel, the 2nd chapter. Come on, brother, come check out these posters, man. We out here for you. Let's go back to Joel 2.
The book of Joel. The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses.
Right? When you hear horses in the scriptures, that's strength. Right, brother? We're reading about the elect men of Israel. The men who the Lord set up from the foundation to be the governors of his whole world. Right? When you see them, it's the appearance of horses, the appearance of strength, the appearance of might. What it means to truly be a man when you see them, right?
And as horsemen,
Right?
so shall they run, like the noise of the chariots on the tops of mountains.
So we're going to be running from this kingdom to that kingdom to that kingdom to this kingdom. Right? Hold that. Let's go back to Isaiah 19. I think he was at 18.
I was at 17. But I can
17.
Read, I can read 18.
Hold that still.
Back
Right,
to
we're
the
going
book
to
of
be running from kingdom to kingdom to kingdom to kingdom, claiming our property, our slaves, claiming our territory, setting things back in order, man. Because this whole land is out of order. Everything you see is out of order. Do you agree with that, Elder? Everything's out of order, ain't it? Elder, you're supposed to be living good. You're supposed to have a mansion.
That's right.
Servants with your feet kicked up.
That's right.
Not worried about your next meal or nothing. You're supposed to be living good.
That's right.
But everything's out of order. They got our elderly men working until they about to give up the ghost. Got our elderly men not knowing where their next meal is going to come from, not having a proper home. Right? These things they have done to our elders, man. Everything is out of order. Because once you get into your older age, we're supposed to be taking care of you. Right? Don't you agree with that? But we taking care of you in a spiritual sense right now, Elder. I'm telling you that you an Israelite, more than likely from the tribe of Judah. Right. You God's chosen people. So we are taking care of you. We're doing what's required of us to show our elders the right way. Right? Let's go back to it.
Isaiah 19 and 18. It reads, "In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan."
Right? So
As-
when you hear that, they're gonna speak the language of Canaan. That's talking about the land that we conquered. They're gonna speak the Lashawan Kodash, which is Israel, which is the true dialect of what Israel speak. Right?
Reading on. It reads, "And swear to the Lord of hosts,
Right?
one shall be called the city of destruction.
And this place is gonna be called the city of destruction.
In that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt."
And that's what we're reading about in Joel, the 2nd chapter, that altar that's set up to the Lord. That beautiful sacrifice, which is the 144,000. Those men being tried in the fire, being made like gold, right? Being the altar set up in the midst of Egypt.
And the pillar at the border thereof to the Lord.
and a pillar and a border to the Lord, man. It's a pillar to the Lord. The elect men are set up as a pillar unto the Lord, right? So what does it mean to be a pillar? You know what that means, Elder? A pillar is something that's set up as strength and structure, right? So the elect men are set up as strength and structure unto the Lord, right? So what we're out here doing is telling the so-called blacks. So you see this poster right here? Check that out, Elder. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who they truly are. Where you see yourself at? Point yourself out. Yeah, you can hold it, Elder. Look up towards the top. What tribe you come from?
Judah. Judah.
Let me hear you say it, Elder. What tribe you from? Judah. You from Judah?
That's
you a
right.
real Jew.
Judah.
Not this person right here that you see down in Park Heights, right? He's not a real Jew. You're a real Jew, Elder.
Right.
That's right.
Let's get Hebrews 7 and 14. Show 'em who else is a Jew.
Look at Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 14.
Right?
For it is evident
It's a sure fact,
that our Lord
our Lord, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ.
sprang out of Judah.
What tribe did he come from?
Sprang out of Judah.
What tribe you come from, Elder? What tribe you come from? So the Lord came out of Judah. What you think the Lord looked like? He looked like you, right? You sure you want to bet that? You sure about that? You are? All right. You sure? All right, let's read what the Lord looked like then.
It's the book of Revelation,
what I'm
chapter
talking about.
1 and verse 14.
Bring it out.
His head and his hairs were white like wool,
Just like yours, Elder. White like wool, right?
as white as snow.
Don't you have woolly hair? A hair like a sheep, right?
And his eyes
His eyes,
were as a flame of fire.
he had red eyes, right? Not like this man.
At all.
Does he have white woolly hair? Not at all. Is his eyes red?
And his feet
And his feet,
like unto fine brass,
what color is brass, Elder? Brown.
as if they burned in a furnace.
So, just like you, Elder, you look like the Lord, like you said.
That's right.
So if this isn't the Lord, Elder, step on that picture. Step on that picture if it isn't the Lord, right there.
That's
step
right.
on his face.
God! No, sir.
Now,
No,
what tribe
sir.
did the elder? What tribe did the Lord come from? No, don't step on that one. That's just a depiction of what the Lord looks like. But if the Lord came from the tribe of Judah, what did his father look like? He looked like that. What about his mother? But what would you think that she looked like? What about his cousins and his aunties and his uncles? They would look all like that. That's right. So what happened to those people? Where they at? We don't know where they at now, do we?
Hey, watch out.
Yeah,
One
come
side,
on,
one
come
side.
Right? So we don't know what happened to God's chosen people, the Jews. Because they definitely not the Jews, are they? Not at all. You go, like I said, Elder, you're a Jew. You're God's chosen people. We the lost sheep of the children of Israel. Right? Give me Matthew 15 to 24. Right, Matthew 15 to 24. Let's hear it out of Christ's lips, exactly who he came for.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24.
Bring it out.
But he answered and said,
So this is the Lord. He didn't answer nothing but said this.
I am not sent,
He's not sent to nobody else.
but
But,
unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
so who's he sent for, Elder?
House of Israel.
I can't hear you.
House of Israel.
The house of Israel.
That's right.
Now who's the house of Israel today? We are. How you know that? Say that again?
I'm listening.
By listening. Okay, we didn't even break it down to you, but the Spirit bear witness. Right? Now let's show them that we the Israelites. We just need one verse or two verses, 28, 15 to 68.
God, this is the
Deuteronomy
book of
28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes,
So if we don't do his law, statutes, and commandments,
which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
so all these curses fell upon God's chosen people. Now we're going to read about the top curse that happened to God's chosen people, right?
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So the Lord said he's going to bring his chosen people for not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments back into Egypt. Now what were they doing in the first Egypt? when Moses said, "Let my people go"? What were they? What were they? Were they free men? Were they living happy? What were they? Slave. Let's read out the Bible.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
I am the Lord your God,
Right.
which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt,
Out of the land of Egypt,
that ye should not be their bondmen,
slave men.
and I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you go upright.
So the Lord broke the bands of slavery from us, so we wouldn't be the slave men and slave women.
Right.
So the brother gonna read it verbatim, right, like we did earlier, and we gonna substitute Egypt for slavery.
And the Lord, Deuteronomy 28, verse number 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, what's Egypt mean again? Start with an S. Slavery. Slavery. So the Lord said He's gonna bring His chosen people into slavery again. Now, how did we go into slavery, Elder? What means of transportation? How they bring us over into a boat? You said what? A boat, right? Let's read out the Bible.
Into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
The way you said it, the Lord said it.
That's right.
And by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
The way the Lord said it was going to happen. Didn't it happen that way in the 15 or 14, 15, 16, 17, 1800s?
Right.
It happened just that way.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
You haven't seen your homeland since, Elder. This ain't your homeland. Baltimore sucks. Baltimore is terrible, ain't it? It's an awful place to be at. That's right. This can't be your homeland. You're a king walking this earth.
That's right.
This place shouldn't be your homeland because it's not, right?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Weren't we sold when we got off them slave ships? Who was we sold to? Point them out. Point them out. See? We only got point them. They proud of that history.
I'm not proud of it.
They proud of that history.
Man, that camera.
Right? Well, if you wasn't proud, you wouldn't have raised your hand.
No, because
right?
I acknowledge it. It's
hold
true.
on.
What
I
you're
got
saying
you.
is true.
I got you. Okay, all praises. Right? We know it's true.
Unto your enemies.
We were sold to our enemies because
That's right.
your enemies wouldn't, your friends wouldn't do stuff like this to you.
Right.
Your friends wouldn't do this to you.
At all.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Slave men and slave women,
And no man shall buy you.
and no man redeemed us out of this captivity that we in today. Right? We still in oppression. What's your last name, Elder? Bryce. Now that's not your last name. That's his last name. He owns that last name.
Right.
You see, he's shaking his head. He truly agrees with that. Right? So why did all this happen to our people? Because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? Do you know any of the commandments that the Lord gave to His chosen people, the Israelites?
Steal, not kill,
Thou
shalt not kill.
Right,
steal,
right,
not murder,
right.
Well, that's the same thing. That's 2.
adultery,
Adultery. Hold that Bible up, Bible Shaw. That's a big book right there, ain't it? So you think thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery is still the only commandments we have out there? Not at all. It's way more than that in this book. Give me Baruch 4:1, Bible Shaw. Baruch 4:1, someone. Right?
It's a lot. You got it?
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh and the laws that endure forever.
One more time.
This is the book of the commandments of God
Yahweh.
This
and the
book
laws
right
that
here
endure
is the
forever.
commandments of the Lord and the law that endures forever. Right? So we're going to show you some of the commandments that you may have not known, Elder. That's our job for coming out here. Is to reprove our people, and correct our people so that they can walk on that straight and narrow path and get salvation. I want to see you in the kingdom of heaven. I want to see you with servants and slaves. Don't you deserve that? Don't you deserve rest from all your labors? You deserve to get a rest. You deserve to not have to worry about being gunned down by the police, getting robbed and shot by your own people, right? These diseases and pestilence going around. You deserve to not worry about that, Elder. That's how precious you are to the Lord and to us. So we're going to teach our people the way. Right? Let's get some commandments for the Elder.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, and verse number 3.
Read it out.
6 days shall work be done.
So you have 6 days to do all your work, right?
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
What day is it?
The Sabbath of
The
rest.
7th day. What's the 7th day?
Right.
This day right here. That's right, Elder.
Right. It reads, and holy convocation, ye shall do no work therein.
We can't do no work on the Sabbath day. Do you work on the Sabbath day? Okay. Do you buy and sell on the Sabbath? You ain't buy that? Okay. All praise. All praise. So no buying, no selling, no cooking on the Sabbath day. Right? You don't cook on Saturdays, do you? Oh, so you keep the commandments and you ain't even know. Day of rest. There you go, Elder. That's right. What's up, brother? What's going on, brother? What's your nationality, man? What's your nationality?
I'm from the tribe of Judah, right?
There we go,
the
brother.
Israelites,
We
right?
the Israelites. Right. That's right, brother. The brother came up yesterday and found out he's Israel, man. Right? But he ran in that marathon, though. Right, let's go to Leviticus 11-7. Right, that folly-thon. Hey, it's baby steps, man. It's baby steps. You get the knowledge yourself, man. Look, and then he turned them down from buying on the Sabbath, man. All praise to the Most High, man. Right? Now let's go to Leviticus 11-7.
Slakia. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
Now what's swine, Elder? It's pig, right?
Though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed,
Though he has all the characteristics of a clean animal, like we got the list right here, of the clean animals and the unclean animals, excuse the weather torn on it, right? He has all the characteristics of a clean animal.
yet he cheweth not the cud.
He don't properly digest his food, it just stays inside of him,
He is unclean to you.
right?
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
Of their flesh shall you not eat, Elder.
And
hold on, Salaki. I'm gonna ask you this: do you eat pork? You don't eat pork? Not at all. No bacon? No pepperoni? All praise. No gelatin gummy bears, right? Okay, yeah. We can't eat that. We gotta properly look at all the ingredients. If it says gelatin, 9 times out of 10 that's pork. Now, if it's specific like fish gelatin or beef gelatin, then that's clean.
That's right.
But we can't eat any pork, right?
And their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
You don't go around picking up dead pigs or nothing like that. Right? That's the commandment that our people break. So now we have to take accountability as men. Right? So because we ate pork, this happened to our great nephew. This happened to our nephew. Because we ate pork, this happened to our grandfather. We got to take responsibility. We got to take responsibility for the things that we have done. Because we broke the commandments, all these atrocities happened to us. Right, go and keep reading, King.
God. Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
So everything that comes out of the waters, you can eat this if it has what?
Whatsoever hath fins and scales.
So what can we eat that come out the water, Elder? Fish.
God. In the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers. Them shall ye eat.
Those you can eat. You can eat fish like, what's some clean fish? Trout,
Salmon,
bass, salmon, tilapia, what else? Cod, tuna fish with scales.
Right.
Right? Say it again.
Bluefish.
Bluefish.
Whiting.
Crappies, whiting. You can eat all these beautiful, delicious fish. But what can we eat? Well, let's find out.
God. And all that have not fins and scales
Everything that doesn't have fins and scales,
in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters,
anything that moves in there.
they shall be an abomination unto you.
So what can we eat, elders? Octopus. What else? Catfish. They don't got scales. What else? Shrimp, crabs, lobsters, eels, turtles, sharks.
Yeah.
We can't eat that stuff. You don't eat crabs, shrimp, mussels, calamari.
I don't eat none of these.
Oh, all praise.
All praise to the
All
Most High.
praise. Elder, you on it. You on it, Elder. You on it. You keeping the commandments and you didn't even know.
That's right.
That's the spirit of the Lord right there.
Huh.
Right? So you can only eat what that comes out the water. What about on the land? What can't we eat?
I don't eat chicken either.
We can't eat pork. There we go. Let's bring out some more commandments for the elder.
God, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, and verse number 27.
Bring it out!
Ye shall not round the corners of your heads.
Right, so we can't shave our head like Mike Tyson, right? Michael Jordan, right? Right? You got hair up there, don't you, Elder? There we go.
Good.
You got it in a ponytail. So we can't shave our heads. Right? That would be a sin in the eyes of the Lord. Right? And what's sin? We didn't touch on that, but what is sin? What's sin, brother? You know what sin is? Blasphemy before God? Okay. Okay. Let's find out word for word what it is.
1 John 3, verse number 4. Bring it out. Whosoever committed sin, transgresseth also the law.
For what?
For sin is the transgression of the law.
What's sin, Elder? So sin is when you break God's commandments.
Right.
If you eat pork, you're in sin.
Right.
If you eat crab, shrimp, lobster, eels, turtle that come out the water, you're in sin.
Right.
Right? If you shaving your head, you're in what? Sin. So you can't shave your head.
It reads, neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard.
So what does it mean to mar something? M-A-R, what does that mean? That means to destroy. So you can't destroy the corners of your beard. Right? I see you got the beard growing, Elder. You shaved your beard. But you can't do that. That's a sin. Right? How old are you, young brother? 40? Oh. See? Black don't crack, man. But you can't shave your beard, though. That's right. You trim it down? Yeah. You get the chin strap? Okay. Okay, but you gotta let it grow. Because if we shave it, what is it called? Sin. It's called sin, and we don't want to sin. Because we sin, all these transgressions happen to us. Because I used to shave my beard, I set my little niece and nephew up to get ate by this alligator. Because this brother used to shave his beard, all his uncles and cousins got sent into slavery on shit. We gotta take accountability, right? Now let's get some more commandments.
God. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38.
Bring it up!
Speak unto the children of Israel.
Who are the children of Israel? We are. We're the children of Israel, right?
Right. And bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
So we gotta bid our people to make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
That's right.
So these are fringes right here, right? These aren't just, I mean, they fly, they look good. They look fly, but it's a commandment. So if you're not wearing fringes, it's a what? It's a sin. Look at all the brothers out here. Everybody got on fringes. Everybody. The young brothers, the young children, the sisters, everybody got on fringes.
God.
Now let's find out why we have to wear the fringes.
God. And the borders of their garment throughout their generation.
That means forever. We got to wear fringes forever, right?
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Say again, brother? Yeah, most definitely. Please do it, right? You got to put a ribbon of blue upon the fringes, right? This is a royal color, right? You royalty walking on the earth, right? You shouldn't be walking in rags and tattered clothing. We're kings on the earth. So the Lord told us to put blue ribbon upon our fringes, right?
God.
Keep going, kid.
God. Verse 39. And it shall be unto you for a fringe that ye may look upon it.
So that you look upon your fringes.
And remember all the commandments of the Lord.
So you remember all the commandments of the Lord and what?
And do them.
And what?
And do them.
This is to remind you to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Man, I'm hungry, but all they got is ham sandwiches. I can't eat ham sandwich because if I eat pork, it's a sin.
That's right.
Man, they got these Gillette commercials. I'm getting tired of this beard, it's itchy. But if I shave my beard, it's a sin.
That's right.
So this is a physical representation to remember to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? You got any fringes out there? Well, are you from Baltimore, right? You can get to the harbor, right? You can get here Fridays, right? If you come here Friday, Lord willing, I'll have a fringe shirt for you. I'll put it in my phone to remember to bring you a fringe shirt, right? Because you got to keep these law, statutes, and commandments, right? If you're not keeping this, you're gonna be put to death. Let me get that in Romans.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 6, and verse number 23.
Right.
It reads, for the wages of sin is death.
For what?
For the wages of sin is death.
If you're breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, you're gonna die. It's just that simple. I don't wanna sound harsh about it, but it is what it is. If you're breaking God's commandments, you will die in the land of Babylon the Great that's coming to be destroyed. Babylon is about to be destroyed. Right. Man, you can feel it in the air, can't you? This don't feel like how it felt 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Oh, truck coming, watch your backs.
Yeah, get in tight, get in tight.
Right, this don't feel the same way that it felt 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you know this place is coming to an end. Right?
For the wages of sin is death,
Right? The wages of sin is death.
but the gift of God is eternal.
Right? The gift of the Lord is eternal through what?
Through life. It's like through your Shah,
Through
Christ.
the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. We have that gift. Right? We have mercy. We have grace. Right? To get ourselves in order. To keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? So we went through what? 4 commandments already? So now we got to quiz you. What's the commandments that we brought out so far? You don't remember?
I know
Give
we're
me-
supposed to shave our beard. That's
Shave our
for sure.
beard. There we
Yeah.
go, brother. What
Keep the
else?
corners.
What else? What about the water? What can we eat that come out the water? Only fish, right? And it has to have what? And what else? Start with an F. Say it, brother?
Fins.
Fins. It has to have scales and fins.
Right.
What about the things that run around on the earth? What can we eat? No pork. There we go. No pork. What's today? The Sabbath day. Today's the Sabbath day. Right?
Day.
So what else? What other commandments did we bring out? It's one more. All the brothers are wearing
Fringes.
fringes. There we go, brother. And what's our nationality? Judah. We Israelites from the tribe of Judah. Right? We the Israelites. We the real
Kings,
Jews,
yeah.
man. Right? Like the brother said, we the kings walking this earth. Right?
The book of Revelations, chapter 1 and verse 3. Bring it out. Blessed is he that readeth.
The Lord said, blessed are you when you read. This is a big book right here. Right? We'd be reading this for days, years, trying to break it down to our people. So now it's the initiative of those who find out that they're Israel to read. Read, watch for prophecy, get understanding. Find out how to truly serve the Lord, like the brother brought out. This whole book is the commandments of the Lord. Right? It's not just the first 5, everything you read. Right?
And they that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written therein.
Right? And you got to keep the things that are written therein.
For the time is at hand.
Leviticus 19 to 17. For the time is at hand, right? We're right at the end of this thing. We at the cusp of going home. We're right there, ready to go back to our own land. Right? You know this ain't your own land. We got allergies, eczema, right? Damn smog everywhere. Right? Let's bring that up.
Leviticus 19.
15, about to show.
Leviticus 19, verse 17.
Bring it out.
Start at 16.
Verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people.
So as men, we can't go up and down being a talebearer. Lying on brothers. Right? That's all. Like the brother said, that's off, man. Men shouldn't do that. That's a childish thing to do. We can agree on that. But it's a commandment. Because our people break that all the time. Right?
It reads, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am Yahweh.
Right, so you can't stand against the blood of your neighbor, making false accusations, not speaking up when somebody can be put to death for something they didn't do. Right?
Verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
So we can't hate another Israelite in our heart.
Right.
Right? And that's hard. That's hard. Sometimes you can hate your brother just by the things he do. Brother, every time he walk by, he fart. You're like, no, I can't stand this, man. I hate him. But we can't hate that brother. Right?
It reads, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So you got to correct that man every time he offends you. Let me get that in Matthew.
The book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15.
And this is the Lord telling us how to deal with these situations, right? Because we always have to deal with situations of not being on one accord with our brother, being at odds with our brother. I may bump heads with this brother, I may bump heads with this brother, but if I apply the scriptures like the brother read in Revelations 1 and 3, right, we can avoid confrontation, bloodshed, being at odds, animosity.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee,
Right?
go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
That's what it means to rebuke. You go and tell him his fault between you two and alone. That's a commandment. Now, do our people do that? No. What do? They hold on and bear grudges. Give me 19 and 18.
Leviticus 19, verse 18. Thou shalt avenge slightly. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Right? You can't bear any burdens against your brother. Y'all got any burdens y'all bearing against your brother from 5 years ago, 4 years ago? You sure? You have to think about it.
I'm positive. Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay, what about you, Elder?
My question was, the brothers, you know what I mean? Like, who are the brothers, right? We have to make that known of who we're talking about in the Bible, because some people think that it's just everybody around here, right? It ain't everybody, right?
It ain't everybody. It's the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
These are your brothers.
Right.
Right? Not the so-called white man.
Right.
Not the Chinese man or the Arab man.
Right.
These are your brothers. Because these are the only people who were given the commandments. Right?
It's the book of Romans, chapter 9, and verse number 3. For I can wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren,
For my brethren,
my kinsmen,
my kinsmen,
according to the flesh,
according to the flesh. Now who are they?
who are Israelites.
Now who are our brethren?
Who are Israelites.
The 12 tribes of Israel. There we go. Those are your brethren.
Right.
Those are the people you can't bear grudges against. Those are the people you can't avenge against. You got to go to that person and tell him his fault alone.
Right.
Right? And if he don't hear that, what next?
Matthew 18.
Yeah, Matthew 18, verse 6.
Book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 6. And it reads, verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
So if so me and this brother, we at odds, we about to fight. I tell him, yo, you getting on my damn nerves. You don't want to hear me? I get 2 or 3 witnesses to come in as well. Right. And tell them again. That's order right there.
Right.
That's right.
That's order. That'll bring structure. Right? Let me get 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. Right, 1 Corinthians 14
over
and
here
33.
hear this, bro.
Right.
Look at me all crazy.
Right.
Come on, Daryl.
That's a fact.
My friend.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse number 33. For God is not the author of confusion.
So the Lord's not the author of confusion. He's not going to tell you an eye for an eye and tell you love your neighbor. He's going to break it down upon the precepts. Right? So you get the understanding. Right?
It reads, but
Of what?
of peace,
Of peace.
as in all churches of the saints.
As in all the churches of the saints. The Lord is not the author of confusion, but of peace. He wants us to live peaceably amongst all men. So he gives us the guidelines and sets things up so that we can live peaceably. You know how many murders, fights will be ceased if brothers apply the scriptures? Then 100% of them. But our people so stiff-necked and rebellious, they want to continue in their own ways. So if that brother doesn't want to hear you, bring 2 or 3 other brothers who have seen the accusations and the things that you're bringing forth to him to validate it. And then what?
And if he neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
You tell it to everybody. Right? Bring everybody before. Right?
That's the church.
Yeah, that's the church. The church is an assembly of Israelites.
That's a fact.
Right?
But if he neglect,
That's truly what the church is. Not the building down on St. Paul. Right. Let me get Acts 7 and 48.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 7. You said 48?
No.
Book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 48. Howbeit, the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
So the Lord not dealing with the church that they feel is set up. Come on, man. You see, the heathens don't have no respect for us, man. At all. Right? And we'd be wrong if we pushed them in the harbor,
It's
wouldn't we?
unfortunate because we ain't got orders. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be wrong if we threw him in the harbor for that.
Right?
Right?
He had orders. He wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't. Exactly, brother. And that's what we out here establishing. We establishing order. Teaching our people to come back to keep the commandments and be men. Stand upon their feet and do as the Lord commanded them. Right? Read that one time, Papa Shaw.
Acts 7 and 48. Howbeit, the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
So the Lord not dwelling in the temples made with hands. You go to church? You go to church, Elder? Okay, all praise. This the church right here.
That's right.
This the church right here. It's not the church down the street. So
2 or more gather, we here.
exactly, bro. When 2 or more are gathered in the midst of thee, the Lord is. Right? So the Lord not dealing with temples made by hands. He dealing with the assembly of Israelites, exhorting and magnifying the name of the Lord. Right? Now what was he holding? We was reading Matthew 18. So bring them into the church. Bring them to the whole congregation. Right?
but verse 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen.
Let him be as a heathen. If you don't want to hear that, treat him as if he's not an Israelite. That's scary. Because a lot of our people should be treated as heathens, right? As Ethiopians, right? And Africans. We should be treating them as such, right?
As an heathen man and a publican.
Right.
Verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven.
Right. So if you bind in disorder, everything being out of order, chaos, you're gonna get the same thing. You're gonna reap that benefit. What you sow is what you reap. Right? It tells you that in Galatians. Right? Chapter.
Oh, Khan. And whatsoever ye shall lose on earth shall be lost in heaven.
Right? So what you binding up there is what you trying to bind in heaven, in the kingdom to come. Right? Because the kingdom to come is only for the Israelites. You on there, brother? You on here?
Mexican.
Huh?
A Mexican. That's
Mexican. You be an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar.
That's right.
Right? From the tribe of Issachar. Right? You're not Mexican. Right? That's something they made up. Right? We're warriors. We're God's chosen people. Right? And with that, I'm gonna let this brother break it down for you.
God. Let's get Deuteronomy 28:15 real quick. Right? So yeah, you from the tribe of Issachar, right? Not a so-called Mexican, not an Azteca, right? Before 1619, right? Y'all weren't calling yourselves that, right? Y'all were calling yourselves Israelites, right? What we have to understand is the reason why we call ourselves Mexican or black or Hispanic, right? Is because